Hello, my beautiful earth signs. Welcome to FireFLy Moon Tarot. This is your tarot channel for all things moon sign related, as well as the cycles of the moon. Now we are doing the entire earth elements. I'm going to give an overview of all of you combined as kind of the energy surrounding the earth signs at this time. Then I'm going to go into a more in-depth analysis of the Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn signs. I'm going to offer inspiration from the universe and advice. Now I have already cleansed the space and shuffled the cards. So as I kind of introduce you, we'll welcome all as well, introduce you to this full moon cycle, which is the full moon in Leo. I am going to start shuffling out the cards as well, so as not to bother or bore you. I see my videos can come a little winded. So this is, as I stated, the full moon in Leo, which is known as the Queen's Moon. Now, it is a kind of take a charge situational energy. I already shuffled. I don't know why I just did that. And it is ruled by the heart over the head. Now, this is going to be more challenging for our earth signs because it is the antithesis of what they are used to and their kind of natural essence being, at least in the home front. Obviously, you may present yourself externally with a different sign. Who knows? But this is going to be challenges as long as your family, friends, foundation, that kind of thing. And it is going to be a surrounding cyclical energy. So your heart is, just allow your heart to be a little bit, what I'm getting for you is be more forgiving with yourself. You know, kind of understand that heart space a little bit more than that head space. Like, you know, sometimes you don't have to listen to the voices, right? This is also a time where energy is inspirational. Now, the Queen's Moon, it doesn't have to, this isn't about you having to embody this Queen energy, which is very much the type of energy where instead of being an overbearing fool, one who just orders people around, a Queen energy moon is someone who inspires people to want to do something of their own volition. So, now, some of you aren't that kind of either figure at home, figure with your friends, or figure at your work, which is also part of your foundation because it's where you most likely krieg money from. And what is it's telling you is that if you're not that person, you probably in some way admire or look up to or have a friend that inspires you. What you can utilize at this time in order to gain from that energy is offer this individual, compassion, support, gratitude, things like that. And then that energy will twofold come back to you. Since it is like an opportunity for leadership time. Now, if you don't want to take on that leadership role, like I said, you just offer that compassion. So the overall energy I have here for our earth signs. Now I'm going to go into Taurus. I'm going to quote one of my, regarding this Queen's Moon. One more shuffle before I get into the individual. So Taurus, Spirit, please guide me. Of course, Taurus is highest good. Thing about the Queen is, and rules her kingdom and rules within the borders of her kingdom. In comparison to the kind of archaic symbol of a king, which attempts to expand their kingdom and domineer over surrounding areas. The Queen is only involved in supporting, nurturing, and leading that kingdom in which she is the Queen. There is no need to expand. She does not want to displace her energy towards places that are not beneficial to her. So at this time, again, that also applies. Do not go trying to do too much at this time or take on too many challenges or too many leadership positions. Understand the realm in which you have power and stick to that. It will be very beneficial for you at this time. Don't try and lead everyone. And again, Taurus, I'm dealing out Taurus's cards now, sorry. Earth signs. Do not be that overbearing energy, or fool, as it says, that orders other people around. Try and inspire people to just do their job better, to be better children, or to be better students, or, you know, just, yeah, participate in it a little bit more with the energy instead of attempting to be an authoritarian figure over it. All right, Taurus, thank you very much. Next up, we have Virgo. So I was going to quote my favorite quote regarding this Queen's Moon. An author has kind of compiled a bunch of poems or representative poems to describe each one of the moons. This one is by Theodore Roosevelt. Oh, just a second. I'm going to have to go. Oh, no, it's still here. Power undirected by high purpose spells calamity, and high purpose by itself is utterly useless if the power to put it into effect is lacking. Okay? So like I said, some of you may not want to take on that leadership role because your purpose isn't as in sync with the overall energy of the collective around you, or you just don't want to be seen in that kind of light, or that responsibility. You just have, you have a different definition of what being admired in a sense is, or being looked up to, and it doesn't have to do with specifically these type of stereotypical leadership positions. All right, okay. Last up, we have Capricorn. Capricorn spirit, please guide Capricorns for their highest good. What messages do they need to hear during this Queen Mother's Moon period? So if you watched my last video, I am back from vacation, so I'm trying to mimic a bit of the format that I had there, and see how it turns out. All right. And hopefully you can see some of these cards. Oh, the sunlight is obviously changing views. Okay, so we are starting off with the overall energy for our earth signs. Now this is going to be kind of a, I don't want to say uneventful moon for you, but you're just not going to be feeling the energy as much, again, because you're an earth sign, which is really, I mean, earth puts out fire, right? And this is the queen's energy, so a full-bodied queen icon is being, and that's just not your vibe normally. I mean, you may have fire as your sun sign or your rising sign, who's to say, but regarding this kind of the foundation area, it's not your feel, right? Okay, so we have a 9 of water, we have the temptation card, we have the 4 of air, and an ace of air. Very interesting. Okay, so temptation is your Capricorn energy. You may be tempted to not participate, to let somebody else take leadership roles. And that may be a good thing for you, actually, during this time, as someone who may try to always instigate itself themselves into the situation and try to give your 2 cents. Now, you may have some new ideas, which would be very prosperous, but how you relay these messages will be the key to them being accepted, because it looks like these are a very good idea. Whatever this idea, oh, the glare, there we go. This 9 of water, it could lead to a lot of prosperity or happiness. Could lead to a lot of happiness, I want to say, in this context. I mean, and the way that Pegasus, this ace of air, is kind of like this freedom of flight. Like, this will really, it unburdens you, you know? Like, I really just am getting the word freedom. Like, you will be free in your own body, in your own mind. Like, this will release a burden from you. Now, like I said, this temptation and this 4 of air, like, either, I mean, what I'm getting, I mean, no, I know that this is usually the rest card, and, you know, you could be tempted not to, you know, to overindulge in kind of I don't want to say depressive state, but sleeping instead of meeting friends, or just not working out when you need to be working out, you know, like routines like that. But I'm getting more of a not sitting on your laurels, but in this case, because this new idea came at one of those Newton's law, like kind of moments, you know, where either you're sitting under an apple tree or you're sitting in the bathtub type thing. Like this idea came to you in a state of rest. Now the problem is with you, I feel, is your communication style and your ability to relay the actual benefits of this idea are not usually taken very positively. It's met with some hostility is what I'm feeling. There could be, I mean, some of this could be coming from their low vibrational responses to possible jealousy. And if you're fighting for a position, you know, up for a promotion or something like that, obviously that is going to come into play. But this moon is about inspiring people to follow you instead of barking, telling people to follow you. You want them to support you is what you do. So I'm feeling like this new idea, you're gonna have to find a more relaxed and more comfortable way to communicate it. So it is accepted more as, you know, oh wow, the sun is shining bright in my eyes, I can barely see. It's accepted as a fruit, you know, like the fruits of your labor. It's like a nice peach, you know. People, I don't want, maybe there's some people who don't like fruit, but you know, most people like a nice fresh fruit. Like it's just something nostalgically sweet and comforting and fresh about it. And I think you're going to have to find a way to communicate this idea. Or it's even for some of you, you are finding a new way to communicate with people. And you've realized that, you know, you've done some meditation, you've done some self-work, and you are in a much better space. Like you have left behind those low vibrational things, and you've left behind certain bad habits. And you now have this new way of seeing life from a different viewpoint, above all the fray that happens down below, all the petty nonsense that happens, you know, in the day-to-day with a lot of people. And you are now rising above it, and you are formulating this new way to communicate with people. And I think that's going to bring you a lot of joy. And I think it's going to bring a lot of joy to the people around you too. They're going to see a change in you, and you're going to even you might even meet new friends that more align with you in this way. So you'll be joining a community, you know, and this temptation, I'm also getting a kind of a happy, I don't want to say completely hedonistic community, but a group of people that don't rely on the acceptance of others in order to fulfill their day-to-day, you know, value, or to define value to them. There are people a lot more released from the chains of societal burdens. And that's not to say that you have to join some kind of cult, or that you're going to become a hippie or anything like that. You're on a different vibrational plane now, and a new way of thinking. And like I said, there's like, you maybe you've gone through therapy, you know, where you had to sit and just listen or talk or something, or it came to you through meditation, or there's some kind of new practice, and this is coming through. Other ones of you, you might be getting an offer that just is not, that seems like it's all that. Some of you might be offered, like, whether this is love, or whether it's a job, or whether it's money for, let's say, publishing something. I'm not sure. It may seem too good to be true, so we'll see which one of that comes up for you, or how to look at it. But that is what I'm getting for you, and I'll go back to some of these possibly later as timing comes up in the individual, but there's just a new opportunity, a new offer, a new way of thinking along those lines. Again, I remind you all, these are general readings. They are not one-to-one. So the reason I skip around a lot is because there are various different messages. Now I know that you all encompass earth signs, but not each of you are the same people, even though you have, because again, like I mentioned, this is just a moon sign. You have a rising sign, you have a sun sign, and some of you are led by your Venus sign. Like, who knows? If love is the only thing on your mind, that could be it. So this is just, I skip around because all these messages need to be told. They resonate. So leave what does not resonate with you, and remember to accept what does, and focus in on that and hone in on that as the messages come through. So I am going to now offer from Spirit a card of inspiration regarding this subject matter. And I did already shuffle them and re-knock them. Oh, there's one over here. This one. Oh my goodness. I thought it was turned upside down. I thought it's the way I saw it like this. It's really weird. Okay, so your inspiration, all earth signs, trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? All right. So this new opportunity, trust this process that you've gone through is what, like I said, you have done something, you've done some reflection, you've worked on something, and you have a new way of doing something that is less toxic. And it's going to lead to a lot of happiness for you and the people around you. Now, I am going to read directly from the book because there will most likely be a meditation in there, or I'll read it when it comes. Okay. I'm forgetting the word right at the moment. Okay. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? The universe is conspiring. Keep facing your true north. Your job is not to pave the path, but to simply keep facing your true north and take one step after another. If you do this, you can't go wrong. The universe is conspiring. Don't waver or doubt. Use your heart as a compass and put one foot in front of the other. If you follow the invisible trail of what lights you up, you will light up the world without even trying. Now, this is exactly what I was talking about with this Queen Moon. It is about leading with your heart, not your mind. Now, I also said, obviously, that is going to be a little bit more difficult for the earth signs. But as it said, like I said, you have a new way and a new perspective of viewing things. So this is your opportunity to just, for this time, as you evolve and process through this time phase and through this cycle, to utilize this energy, all right? Most people don't follow the highest call of their soul because they are waiting to see the end destination before they take the first step. If you take one baby step each day within a year, you will have taken 365 steps in your dedicated direction. If you want to write a book, write a page every day. If you want to change careers, do one thing every day in dedication to that. Before you know it, in just a year from now, you will turn back and look in awe at how far you have journeyed. Keep moving and open yourself up to a whole new level of support and receiving. And that was that support I'm getting. Like, I feel that it's not just you who will be happier, it'll be the people around you, and you could be processing in a new group of collective people that will support you and surround you. And they are just less tethered to other societal norms. Not that we shouldn't all abide by social contracts, okay? Things are not going to work out the way you were planning, but if you have a little faith and keep showing up, they will work out even better than you could possibly imagine. Don't micromanage the universe. Trust your path and let your soul lead the way. I think this is so great for you earth signs. Again, as I was saying, don't be the fool that just, leads by being overbearing and bossing people around. This is this is your opportunity to expand beyond those personality quirks that become stereotypes or stereotypical of you. You are capable of embodying a lot more healthy style of participation with your surroundings, and you don't have to control everyone, everything, every moment, every day, every time. Just, you know, more with the heart, less with the head. Okay. It asks you at this time to kind of use this question to contemplate on. If you knew you would be supported no matter what would you do? Whether that's financial support, whether that is somebody offering a physical place for you to stay, whether it is your parents' support, emotional support, livelihood support, you know, just what is it that you would do, right? All right. All right, thank you very much for participating in the general message reading portion of this. Now I am going to go into each one of the signs. You will find a link down in the description area. You can just click on that and it'll take you right to it. If you enjoy it, don't forget to like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. Love and light. All right, Taurus, I'm starting off with you. And we've got a 10 of water, so beautiful. 9 to the 10. This is great. 3 of earth, real teamwork, momentum, and the 3 of water. Lovely, lovely. So we have 2, 3. Oh, nope, it's a 4 of air. Okay, we have 2 3s now. And, you know, we've got celebration and we've got teamwork. So like I said, I really feel like yours is definitely more reinforcing this concept. You are building a new community around you that's going to enable you to actually prosper more at work, because the lessons you are learning in this companionship that you're forming within this new group of higher kind of frequency and vibration, you bring that kind of experience and that energy to your day-to-day life at the workplace. So you may be forming, colleague bonds that you didn't have before, people willing to share across desks, and because you're expanding the social network and this networking network within it, you also like learning about the different sectors within a company, and talking about what the end of day kind of like goal line is, like whether it's a hierarchy process of my job is completed so this person can. This person completes their job so this person can. And what you're learning from all these other people could actually start putting something in progress where you are working on a project that combines certain aspects of each one of those groups in order to close an actual gap within the industry that really kind of moves an efficiency into the process. And like I said, just overall, this breeds just beautiful 10 of water energy. So real abundance, this is happiness at home. And the moon is about emotions. So one other thing in this context is to believe in your intuition. Now, there may be different, that may perform, the agency of that, like the performativity of that, or the definition of that as far as a variable may be different to you than it would to other signs. But your abundance as far as the moon is concerned, it comes from an intuitive place, like knowing what happiness is for you, even knowing what makes you happy and really sticking to that. And the fact that the more you stick to it, like I said, I'm getting happiness, I'm getting joy out of like this one. It's just creating this like really positive light for you. Now, this could be, I'm hoping this doesn't last just for this moon cycle, because obviously you're not associated with fire signs, so it is not going to last as long. But I really feel that this lessons learned and this work that you have been putting forward, because I think this is something you've been working on for definitely 3 to 4 months. And that's a really quick process too. Like the fact that, oh, you can just get it done in 3 to 4 months, this kind of like change. It doesn't say that it's done yet, because I think you have to move through these phases. Like this celebration card of people around you, like you're going to have to start participating in events and stuff like that with these people. And this experiences is going to interlace into your day-to-day work life, which is going to expand your networking house. So I mean, it's starting now. Probably started over the last 3 months, but this could be a process that goes on for, you know, a good 3 years. Like you really, these are people that you're building a relationship now that you're going to have in your life for a while. And the progress that you're going to see in your job is going to expand over the next 3 years and continue to give you this prosperous, abundant energy. All right. Now I'm going to give you an advice card, though I mean, I don't know what kind of advice that could be. Just keep believing in yourself, or you know, keep on the path, but because this is really beautiful energy. All right, I'm going to shuffle it just once, and then I'm going to take all right. For your advice cards, we have the new moon in Gemini. Think it through. Now, that's very interesting because, again, most of this is about leading with your heart over your mind. Now, this temptation, I think I'm getting this from your Now, there may be a Gemini in your life. Gemini moon, Gemini sun. I don't know if I'm getting the energy off of any of the other, or Gemini Mars. I'm actually, for some reason, getting, okay. So you can have a Gemini in your life that has been with you a while. And this is for some of you. And they are leading you, I hate to say, they could possibly be leading you away from this path. Away from creating this community that leads to a higher networking status at your place of business, that leads to this 10 of water. I am getting a lot of these energies are connected. This could be a really good thing. I feel in some stages, like I said, it's going to release you from the bindings and the chains of certain, you know, societal structures. Now, I'm not talking about social contracts. I'm just talking about what people think pretty is, or what people think smart is, or what people think funny is, you know, just, or successful people, what people think. Now, when I refer to this, I'm really getting that there is a toxic Gemini around you that is going to try and pull you back from this path. And this may actually be a family member. It may be an old childhood friend, but I don't see why someone's like this. But I'm getting jealousy. I'm getting a lot of jealousy and energy, and this Gemini is really insecure because they want to control you. And the moment they see you slipping out of their grasp, they try and gaslight you back in. So I'm getting, the energy I'm getting off this, think this through, is how you want to set out the boundaries for this relationship. All right, and that's just the initial message I'm getting. I will read from the book for everyone else, because that's a specific message for someone who actually does have a Gemini moon, sun, or Mars in their life. And a new moon, again, is about manifesting. Okay, so this full moon is always about assessing, doing a gap analysis of what is working, what is not working as far as your manifestation is going, and time to adjust and adapt. I really should have worn my glasses when I'm trying to read these, as it's getting darker. Okay. That may be a message too. Think things through. Maybe some of you guys need to get your eyes checked. Going for glasses. Okay. All right. A positive outcome lies ahead. However, to take this opportunity from the ethers and make it real, you need a positive mindset. On some level, you already know how to get what you want. Use your smarts. Think it through. Look for the signpost about what to do next. Ask, what am I expecting? Focus on positive expectations because expectations attract. If you're having doubts, talk to someone. Make a list of your goals. There's a way through. Use your mind and your words to help others see things your way. Now, like this is very reinforcing of what this was about, taking those steps, right? You know, like make sure because like I said, you are headed, you are on this path to see things in a different light, to be a new person, to communicate in a different way. You have done some kind of self-work, and you need to continue to participate in that to keep these things. Like this isn't, this is also, okay, so it's like basically, you know, just because the universe is offering you this doesn't mean you are actually going to put the work in that's necessary to get it done. So what the universe is trying to tell you as far as advice is to continue to put in the work. Now, as an earth sign, you should really enjoy putting in the work and doing those step-by-step things necessary in order to achieve it. It's definitely, you know, one of your positive quirks and habits, right? And who doesn't like a list, you know? Because then when you check it off, it feels so gratifying to know, oh, achieved, done, you know? This is great. So I think this fits really well, actually, with how to maintain this process. And like I said, you are going to be forming some kind of network with people within your work that you're starting to identify gap. You're basically, in your spare time, you guys are running gap analyses over, you know, conversations for lunch, and you're realizing, oh, we can consolidate certain things to make the streamlining of this more efficient. And, you know, management is going to love it. And it's going to lead to a lot of happiness for all of you, because it's not just the fact that if you get a raise or a promotion or anything like that, it's the success that comes with it. You know, the having gone through that step by step and achieving it. That is just so gratifying for so many people. All right. Thank you very much, Taurus. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget to check out the short meditation at the end of this video. Love and light. All right. Hello. Thank you, Virgo, for returning to me. Here we have your Emperor, your Page of Fire, and your Three of Air. Interesting. There's the other three. This has 2 3s. It had 2 3s. I was wondering where the other 3 was. Okay. So, wow. I mean, with this Queen's moon, we have the Emperor here, which, you know, Empress, Emperor, we would think that if the Empress was the Queen, the Emperor would be the King. So, I mean, I don't want to say that you need to forget about the Queen's energy, that leadership quality at this time, but I think you need to look at it through the lens, or feel it through the scope of taking the masculine version of this. So even though that, like leading with your heart over your mind, there may be times when you need to be more aggressive about certain situations. But what it's telling you, that, or either you are the Emperor, and what it's telling you during this time is to soften yourself up a bit. You know, don't be that arrogant guy, or that arrogant woman, or that arrogant child. You know, it's about, you know, taking what you can from the energy around you that benefits you. So I'm seeing, you know, because the Emperor can have really arrogant and aggressive, domineering traits. It's a beautiful Emperor's a strong figure of power and command, but it can have very, you know, negative aspects to it as well, as can the Queen. Don't get me wrong. And the Empress can, you know, just nurture what she wants to instead of nurturing everyone. She can be very choosy about who's worthy or who's not, or who their goal benefits, you know. So it's very, there's positive aspects and negative aspects to everything. So with the page here, I love this page. Honestly, every time I see it, I just, it's like she can just float away into the night sky on dreams. This is really kind of lighten up, lighten the F up. This is telling you lighten the frack up. You have been way too in your own space thinking that your way is the only way and the right way. And no, let me tell you, it's not. It never is. It never will be. Okay? There is no such thing. You need to lighten up and, you know, find a little bit of more joy in your life. Like, for you, I'm really seeing this Emperor is your toxic energy. Like, this is your toxicity. You are addicted to some sense of control and power that is absolutely unhealthy for you and the people around you. So this new way of thinking, this new way of being that is going to lead to a happier you, definitely involves lightening up. Now that is easier said than done, obviously, absolutely, even especially for an earth sign. I mean, the only thing that moves you is earthquakes or a flood, right? So, I mean, as it's offering you this 3 of air energy. Why I said it that way, I have no idea. I lost my train of thought and I went straight to it's offering you this 3 of air energy. You are going to, if you don't change your attitude, you're going to lose some people in your life. I just have to say, or you're going to lose your, yeah. There's something, you're going to lose something. It's not normally what the 3 air is referring to, but you're going to lose something if you do not adjust your attitude. Trust that to be true. All right. That's for some of you. Again, I mentioned this is general reading. I feel isolation. If you try to go into an isolated space, like there's a difference between this 3 of air right now and what I said about this 4 of air and the concept of isolation. Like you did some rest and reflection and you got the help that you needed, and that space was obviously isolated away from other people in the context that you went through it to yourself. And that is different when the energy I'm getting off of this is that there may be a desire or a weakness to retreat from the world, from the people, and that is not going to do you any good. Because I feel maybe someone has brought this up about these traits, these habits, this attitude and behavior, possibly for some of you, and you took it so critically and you got so defensive and you were so low vibrational about it that some of you might retreat, and that is not what you should be doing. It's warning you against that, or I am warning you against that for those of you who fall in line with this specific message. Now that's not for all of you. Okay, like I said, other of you are just this Emperor energy and it needs to be softened out by this Queen energy, and the whole point of that is to learn to lighten up. Now, speaking to somebody about it, it's really just this 4, like the reason I'm getting that is because you see these 2 birds alone here talking, and then there's this one bird on the wing. Like you seem to think everybody has their people, but you don't. And there's one right there. Okay? Someone you can trust. It has to be someone you can trust. Now, I wouldn't, like, this is not, I would say this is not an individual. Okay? In this context, I don't think you would trust the Page of Fire with something that is this personal to you. Okay? Now the other concept, like I said, there's a new idea, a new way of doing something. And during this moon time of the Queen, and the Queen specifically, I'm saying because the Queen I mentioned is about only working within their boundaries. I feel like with this Emperor here, there may be an option for some of you to actually seek outside your boundaries in that context. And like I said earlier about not following to certain performative norms, like this may be your opportunity. Like someone said, you could never do that there, or you know, and just don't believe them. You can do that there if you want to. So I'm thinking there's some of you that is asking you to actually expand out into your horizon. All right. Okay, actually I'm gonna put it like this. I am now going to get a advice card from you. I'm going to do one shuffle and then advice again for our Virgos. All right, so you have first quarter moon in Leo. So this is the full moon in Leo, and you're getting a first quarter moon in Leo. Now, some of you may have Leo in your chart, like in a dominant position, either rising or sun. Okay, and as I was saying, be humble. Be humble. I think that is the biggest advice lesson. Like I was saying, you know, like I just, you need to chill out. Humble is a much nicer kind of word to use to describe the attitude that you need to participate. Because if you're humble, like you don't get so defensive about things, you won't have to worry about feeling isolated, right? You know, that childlike enthusiasm, you need to embody that. So be humble, first quarter moon in Leo. Okay. Tension is in the air. Like I said, with that Emperor, somebody might have mentioned something to you. Okay. You know that you can achieve your goals, which is half the battle. But the card suggests you need to be less show and more substance as you move slowly towards your goal. Definitely. More substance. Don't just demand, you know, don't just expect. Avoid allowing your ego to overwhelm you. Really, I mean, I can't say it more. The Emperor, that ego. Don't opt for something merely because you think it'll impress others. Practice grounding. In a financial situation, slow your spending. In love, if you're being stubborn or possessive, now is the time to stop. Like I said, cut it out, okay? Now, as I was mentioning, like, don't opt for something merely because you think it'll impress others. Like I said, don't opt for like letting people decide for you where your capabilities lie. Like I said, you may have the opportunity to go outside a bit. It may be adjacent to, it may be a diagonal, but your skills may be utilized in a different area that some people say, no, that would never apply, be applicable, or something like that, okay? Now, this is, let me see. Oh, it has a chakra here. This is part of the sacral chakra. You can see it, right? Well, I don't know if you can see it. I can see it. Yes, there you go. Right there. You know, which again, it's desires, temptation. It's having a healthy view of those kind of things. So the mantra that it's giving you is, and it wants me to remind you that you need to practice being thankful that you're reminding me to shine while equally staying humble. So thank you for reminding me that I can still shine while still being humble. Okay? Thank you very much, Virgo, for joining. Don't forget to check out the short meditation at the end of this video. And if you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. love, and light. All right, thank you very much, Capricorn, for returning. We have for you a 7 of water. Ooh, choices, choices. A 7 of earth and a 6 of water. Very interesting. This is the second time 2 of the same numbers have come up. Okay. Temptation, choices. 7 of earth, not acting on those choices or failing to act on the decision that needs to be made. And this temptation again could be, and this 4 of air, you know, you spent too much time. You can run the risk out of, you know, all the signs. You're running the risk of staying too long in this 4 of air energy where you're contemplating too much on it. You think you need to do more work, or, you know, you can always continue to do work while you're actively participating in achieving your goals. Like this says, is trusting your path. It's each day you need to be taking a step. Now, you may each day, it may start off for the first 7 days, the next 7 days after you see this, you need to take a step towards your goal. Now, those choices that you make in these first 7 days is going to help lead you away from the stagnant energy of feeling stuck, feeling sucked in to something, a way of life, a mental belief, a physical kind of despair, you know? So over the next days, I specifically for you, I need you to practice participating in your goal in some way. Now that may be meditating on it. I don't want to dissuade anyone from continuing their meditation practices if that's what has gotten them to this far. But again, don't just meditate on it, because that is only one aspect. In order to manifest something, be very clear about the vocabulary you use. Write it down. Start possibly day 1, write it down. Don't just think it, write it down and send it off into the universe. If you are looking, you know, to start a new job somewhere, go to a store and look at something that you would wear to your job. You know, you don't have to buy it, but the first step is envisioning yourself in the position of that. So, you know, if you're you're going out and you're seeing things like, that is something I would wear to work. You know, that is something I would absolutely wear to my new job. Or if you want to be a dancer, you know, watch a video and practice the first 7 seconds of it. I don't know, one move, like a 7, because there's a lot of moves that can happen in 7 seconds in a dance video. So just practice something new, something that leads to it every day. This is that inspiration, was that taking those steps in order to do this. And that's where you need to go. You need to get off your hiney horse, out of your little cubby hole or hidey hole, off your little bed of rest, and start actively participating in all these objectives that you have to get done in order to achieve this next stage, right? It's going to be emotionally fulfilling for sure, because you've already put in a certain amount of work on the goal that you want to achieve. I mean, this is really rooted. This is strong energy. This is knowledgeable energy. This is skilled energy. I mean, the potential is all there, but it's kind of like you've got yourself caught in a, I mean, I'm trying to think of all these different science fiction type things, or these fantasy things where, you know, they'll move into an area or a zone of a new kingdom, and it'll be like the kind that just sucks the energy out of you. And all of a sudden you just like, oh, I can't move on anymore. I just want to lay here and I want to stare at the beautiful sky, you know, or stare at the beautiful bird. Like, that's what this person has done. They were working so hard. They got so far, and then all of a sudden they just like, I'm just going to lay down here for a second. You know, I think it's Tom Bombadil in Lord of the Rings. And I just reread one of my favorite kids' books. And it's like there's this one of the areas of the map is like, you can't do anything, but you can't waste time either, because it's just, yeah, very interesting. I wish I could remember her name. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm definitely feeling like I'm hoping that the advice for you is to get off out of your hidey hole and on your horse, because you've done the work. Now you just need to start taking the actual steps to action. You need to make the decisions in order to one by one get this closer to actualization, because you can't stay where you've been. You can't continue to reminisce about the goal that you or even like daydreaming, like stop just daydreaming it, start enacting it, right? I feel like that's where this is going for you. And Capricorn, I don't feel like this has to do specifically with money, because that is something that you're always usually very proactive about. This is something else. This is something that, the reason you've been putting it off is because you don't think it's important, I'm guessing, because really, the most important thing to you in some kind of unfortunate sense is material goods or money in some way. But there's so many other things about life that are beautiful and glorious and represent abundance that do not deal with those kind of things. And it is something that you have put the time and effort into, but and maybe some of it does. I mean, as far as skill, yes, it does, but these are emotional cards, and the moon is an emotional planet. So this has to do with your well-being, your actual emotional instability, and your well-being, and taking care of yourself. Okay? I'm going to get an advice card for you as well. I will again shuffle it one time and then pull a card. And if you enjoyed these readings, please like, share, or subscribe. I do appreciate all the support. And don't forget, at the end of this video is a short meditation. Okay, so for you, we have another new moon. I love this. I'm getting all kinds of new moons all day. I usually get 2 moons. This is the new moon in Pisces, not the first one to get this today. Attuned to the divine. Again, this is a water energy, so there's definitely some emotional support stuff that needs to go on here. Like, you are not taking care of your well-being is what I'm getting in this a lot. And you need to start taking the steps to care for yourself. Because you've done work on so many other aspects of your life, and you're kind of like, okay, I'm working hard on all these other things. Why isn't why doesn't the rest feel right? Why does this not feel as good as it should feel? Because you're not focusing on the emotional aspect of life. There is more to existence than material well-being and abundance, right? Okay. New moon in Pisces. Thank you very much, Spirit. Okay, you have the opportunity to slip into the full flow of life now. When that happens, you want what is happening, and what is happening is what you want. Your manifesting is working perfectly. Just make sure you stay attuned to your higher self, and you'll be well on your way to feeling blissfully happy and in tune with your dreams. Meditation is the best way to connect to your higher self. So practice it if you know how, or try learning from an online instructor. Above all else, be kind to yourself and others. Like what I said earlier about being kind to yourself, and I said the meditation, and that may be a process in which you need to use and continue to use. And this is really about getting back into nature in that cleansing energy, right? Now, I am going to give you your manifestation affirmation. But at this time, I am going to recommend that you slow your breath down. We're going to take 3 deep breaths together. On the 3rd breath, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. And then once we're done with that breath, you are going to repeat after me. You can either do it silently or out loud, all right? Breathe in. Close your eyes. My conscience dreams create my reality. My conscious dreams create my reality. My conscious dreams create my reality. Okay, so this is something that you're going to want to practice while you're meditating. A lot of this, I know it says meditation, and that is a very stable, like it's a non-actionable context to take, but you really need to take action in these steps. You cannot just continue to only meditate on it. Now, the meditation has done you well. It will continue to do you well. So it keeps you in this positive mind frame, right? Because you need to work on yourself, and that's what meditation really does for you. It helps you work on yourself. All right? Okay. Thank you very much. And again, don't forget to like, share, or subscribe, and check out the short meditation at the end of this video. Love and light. Now take a deep breath in, deep, pure, clear, purifying energy. Pure,